Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mike with smartoptiontrading.com. It's Thursday, the 10th of January. This is your morning setups. Here we come in this morning. It's about 7:30. Futures are down, right? We are right now currently trading just at or below yesterday's low and showing just a little bit of signs of weakness as we came right up and just missed kissing that 2600 area that we've all been looking at. We have a busy, busy, busy news day ahead from the Fed perspective. Nothing else. Okay, initial jobless claims, but we do have Fed's Barkin speech today. Then Bullard's going to give us a speech, and then at 12:45 is the big one, Jerome Powell. Okay, so that's the one we're all going to be focused on here during lunch. Then Evans and Kirsch and Kersheri. I mean, so it's just a Fed-filled day. Sit here to fill us up with stuff. So just put that in the back of your mind. We have more China data out overnight. China continues to show slowing and weakening. We got precious little details on the trade talks that took place this week, and a lot of people are taking that this is not a good sign. That obviously there's some big differences. They could not work out, and things did not go well. And then we have a bunch of upgrades and downgrades this morning to go into and things. So let's go into it. So ES, you can see here, yesterday weak into the close, and now we've had some follow through and some pushing down here, but nothing bad. One bright spot in the last couple of days has been oil. Oil is trying to bounce up in here into the 50-day in resistance. We'll see how it handles this. Slowing China is not good for oil. A trade deal would help. Saudi Arabia seems committed to trying to pump oil back up to 80 a barrel. So there's some of these OPEC countries are trying to pump oil back up. They're reducing more and more of what they pump every day at this point to try to get oil to bounce up here a little bit. So we'll see if this can continue or not. We did see some call buying. We'll go over that. Outside of that, bonds cooled off finally, still hanging right here around the 8-day, but now below it for the first time. And again, we talked about the trend changed in bonds all the way back here in late November. And at that point, it rode the 8-day and every touch was buyable. This is the first time now since then that the first touch of the 8-day wasn't buyable. And now instead of trading above it, we're now trading below it. So we'll keep an eye on that. Excuse me, guys, a little hoarse here. And gold continues to look just fine. I would not be shorting gold here right now. I would just let to see what it wants to do. It could use some time to go sideways, but gold is not in any danger of falling apart, at least at the moment. Okay, so when we come to today, what are we looking for? So first of all, we're going to go to sentiment. And, we've been talking about sentiment and how hot it's been now for a bunch of days. So first of all, put the call remains fine. Overall, the put to call is in a neutral rating that despite all the buying that was going on in the markets, they're not going nuts on options on the call side. And this has been playing out. We've been seeing this very heavily taking place on the hedging coming in on the indexes and such. This is what's the problem is, and this is the NYMOT, the New York Stock Exchange Oscillator. You can see it's up here at 354. It is almost at an all-time high. We don't very rarely see this. You can see this wild swing we've had right from here to here, big swings. But here at this point, this is really really high. This is nuts. This is the point where you have to look at this and say, I do not want to be chasing this. I don't want anything to do with this market other than some day trades and scalps up here, and I'm actually considering be careful. And same thing on the NAMOT. Seeing this up here as well, plus 312. Again, anything over 200 is considered to be overbought on this. So we are at extreme levels right now on these things. And all they're doing is they're screaming caution. Please be careful, right? Be careful, be careful. Again, put it in perspective. 20 years of data. Let me go back for you. You can see how high this signal is only once, all the way back here. 20 years, all the way back into here, right? 2001, that we get a screaming signal like that. So just put that in your mind that this is not normal here. Okay, this is not good for the markets. Markets are allowing this to happen here. Whatever is going on, this is here we are. We're just not quite, almost all-time high here, just off of it. Again on the other one. All right, so where does this bring us to today? This brings us to, I think, a tough spot today. I do have short on the brain today. I'm going to tell you that, but there's been some good action out there, and so we'll take that into account. So first off, on the SPY today, we've been talking about 260 being resistance. We're almost there. If we're going to be any good today, we're going to bounce off this level where we're at today, and we're going to go and hit 260. And if they want to overthrow, they're going to take us up, and they're going to hit 263. Notice that as volatility is decreasing, right? Volatility is decreasing. The size of the candles is decreasing, right? We're not getting these wide range candles anymore in the indexes the last 4 days, right? It's lessening. Volume has been dropping off, right? Sure signs that this is not. This is rallies often have less volume than moves to the downside, but we're not. We're seeing this all tapering off. Candles getting smaller. A lot of change is starting to go on here. So are we setting ourselves up for a rollover is what everybody's looking at. And everybody's looking at this 260 area. So that's the one thing that always worries me. So for today, to the upside, 260, then if we wanted to, this 263.50 area. To the downside today, the first stop is 254. That's where, the 21 days roughly set up in that area. That's where we continue to want to try to hold in there. It's where we held the last couple of days. You can see your 8 days now moving up and is almost to that spot as well. So that's your first line of the sand, this 254. You start losing these areas here, and then you don't want to lose the bottom of this candle, which would be 251.50. Lose that, and we open the door for a big downward move again. So this is what you need to keep your eyes on today. All right, so let's talk about for me today. For me today, I come in with long and short on the brain. There's a bunch of news out there. First of all, Costco reported their same-store sales last night. They look good. It's not moving yet. This gets a possible long here on this one. Same thing with Target. They reported they were not as good. Okay, Target's already getting hit on that. We can see this coming down here, initial pop and pull off on it. Okay, Target has a gap ahead, something to keep in mind. All right, so those two stores are in play today. Play them accordingly. Those are retailer names. All right, Twitter got a very big upgrade this morning. How big of an upgrade this morning? Twitter got added to, it was from Bank of America Merrill. They upgraded them and to a buy and a price target of 39. You can see Twitter already bounced up. I will be watching Twitter for a long today if the market is in the right direction. This is something I'd like to keep going to see how it holds up. Okay, Boeing got an upgrade this morning. Okay, Boeing got a nice upgrade. Overweight at Morgan Stanley, right? Not moving yet. Boeing's a name I want to keep on my radar this morning. Boeing's a name that can move. So if the market doesn't fall apart, this one could try to go, especially if it takes out the 200-day, which is stopped dead at right into this area. You can see here on the chart, got a lot of resistance lined up in here. Here's your 100-day move. Sorry, your 100-day moving in here. Came right into your 200 days right in here. You got a tremendous amount of resistance right into this area. If it can burst through it, right, 100-day, 200-day, both right in here, it can try to fly back up into this 260 range. We'll keep an eye on that one today. All right, another name that had a big upgrade. NIO released same-store numbers. Now, NIO's a name that doesn't often care. I'm sorry, not same-store numbers. Released their monthly manufacturing report deliveries, and it was good. And now they're pulling back. NIO's a name that often doesn't care about the market, so you can keep an eye on that one to see how it wants to go. Also, just so you guys know, CGC CEO was on Mad Money. It got the Mad Money pop. It's up here. See if it holds it. See if the other pot names stay with it. Stars also, CEOs were on Mad Money. It has a little bit of a pop. I don't really trust this one, to be honest with you, though, off of that. Some other thoughts for today as we're looking at things. NVIDIA, they bought a ton of next week's calls, and they stuck to open interest. 8,000 of next week's 152.50 calls stuck to open interest. Now, what do I like about these? I like that there was big buying. I like that they were mostly on the ask side. We saw them coming in all day. I don't like that they're so far out of the money and they're cheap, right? So, oftentimes when they're doing that, they're sold to open. And I don't know what the catalyst here is to get NVIDIA to move up to there. And that's the problem. They just finished CES is going on. They already had their keynote address. I don't know what the catalyst here is for NVIDIA to move, but I will keep an eye on it with that kind of option flow because, that's big. We don't see that often. Also, I want to talk about Tesla. Tesla yesterday, they were hitting the 300s all day long on Tesla, late in the close, and the 317.50 puts. Okay, what I'm not really sure of here is on the puts. They stuck to open interest. You can see them here, the JAM 300s. Okay, those puts stuck 8, right? But they were on the bid, a lot of them. Oops. All right, a lot of them came in on the bid. We were picking them up all day long. We weren't sure if they were closing or what they were doing here with this line. And I'm not sure if they were sold to open or not. Now, Tesla is down here now this morning, gapping down. We'll keep an eye on it. They were also definitely bought puts at the 317 level for next week. So definitely some interesting stuff there. So those are some ideas today. I want to keep an eye on these names for different directions here. I'm always obviously watching names like Square, AMD, the flow looked bad. It looked very bearish. Roku is on my list only because I think this name got, what Citron did was wrong. It tried to bounce yesterday down. Again, remains on my radar for a long above 42.10 area, right? If it can get up to there and try to push in the market strong. For shorts today, guys, I do have Amazon squarely on my brain today. I do have short on the brain today. Amazon, some cheap puts, out of the money puts are on my radar for today for the weeklies. I do think if this market rolls, Amazon will roll. We're now getting news out that potentially that Amazon's been, Bezos was having an affair, and that's why the marriage is going down. And that could turn into a little bit of an ugly battle over there. So we'll keep an eye on that. I wouldn't be afraid to short Apple here. It's not acting particularly well at this point as it comes up into this area. Same thing, be a little more careful with Netflix, even though Netflix is looking a little tired and extended. It has earnings coming very, very shortly, as in next week. Okay. And so I'm always hesitant to be shorting games that have earnings within a week. Usually they try to run into earnings or hold up a little bit more. That said, VXX for a day trade, I would try. I'm no longer recommending any options on VXX as it goes away January 30th. VXXB is going to be the replacement. It just doesn't quite have the volume yet, but you can see it's starting to pick up. The volume on here is starting to slowly pick up, so you can start playing with that, or UVXY, or puts on the indexes themselves. So I think today you have to be looking and have to be thinking to myself, I need to be aware that I need to look at some downside moves today, that this market is extremely hot, and that there are some signs that we could push back here or even roll over at some point. So we'll see. So if you're not in my service, you can get a hold of me at mike@smartoptiontrading.com or visit my website and just sign up. And if that's what I'm doing, it looks like this when you get there. Love to hear from you. And, come in, click on it, do real-time option flow, online mentoring and teaching on there. The real-time option flow, you get 2 videos a day. You get 3 hours of me live a day to talk to you. You get recap video at night, morning setups video like this during the day. We do a weekly subscriber mentoring webinar every day. And on top of that, you get all the on Twitter, all the option flow through the day, relevant trading news, and what I'm doing and my thoughts are through the day. So if you're interested, sign up. It's only $25 for the first 30 days. Cancel anytime. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Everybody have a great day trading. People in my service, I'll see you guys live at 9:30. Sorry, 9.